Benjamin Britton here, drawing and painting. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so excited to welcome back alum Maiza Nagatu back to the Dodd to give an artist talk. Maiza got her BFA in 2013 from here. Since then, she's exhibited her artwork at the Georgia Theater Gallery, the Oconee Cultural Arts Foundation, and the Linden House Art Center, has been getting press and working and living in Atlanta. She was born in Ethiopia, moved to North America around the age of 10, and so has a knowledge of what it's like to live in two different continents. And as you'll see, her work is influenced by her own experience, and I'll let her explain its inner workings and significance to you and what she's up to. All right. Please help me in welcoming Maiza.
Thank you, Professor, and thank you everyone for being here. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here. A few years back, when I was a student here, I never thought that I would be back here to talk about this. I'm sure as you all dream of, as an artist, you kind of hope that one day you'll make it in the world, right? But I never thought it would be this quick for me. It's just the beginning, but didn't think I'll be back here to talk about this. As Professor has mentioned already, I am originally from Ethiopia. I was born and raised there. I grew up here. Actually, I've been here longer than I have in Ethiopia. But of course, when you get to see two different lives and two different continents, there's something that kind of stays in your in your heart, in your mind. So my paintings, as you can see, are 3D constructions that express the idea of unity through shapes, colors, patterns, and designs gleaned from different African cultures. I want to kind of show you a couple of slides of my work. This is actually the piece that I did for my exit show here at UGA. Some of these are made out of foam board and some made out of wood, plywood. And some are really tiny and others are much bigger. So as I mentioned, my artwork, the theme is unity. And that came about from, that idea kind of came about from I always thought that, I always wondered what happened to Africa, because it's been, as a continent that's been here for a very long time, but it's one of the poorest nations in the world. And it was like my utopian dream of what I would like to see in Africa, to be working together to prosper. Because there's just so much culture, so many different tribes, different languages, different cultures, people fail to see the beauty in that, because that's what makes a room full of people beautiful, because we have so much to bring to the table, different ideas, different backgrounds. So I didn't know how to talk about that, although I know that I wanted to talk about unity, I didn't know how to get there. So I want to kind of show you a couple of patterns in the designs that I was thinking about, as far as how to put all those patterns and designs from different places of Africa and create this piece that shows, that has balance and harmony by putting all these together. And these are the patterns. For example, that's the jewelry that you see the Kenyan women wear. They make their own jewelry, wear them, and then the traditional Ethiopian or Eritrean clothing, the patterns that you would find on their clothing, as well as the henna tattoos that different cultures use throughout Africa. It was about creating that, putting it together and creating. And the Ndebele tribe of South Africa, the women, they designed these homes with their paintings. And I thought, what would happen if I, add a face painting design from the tribal face painting from Africa, and using symbols, different type of symbols that these are the Inkara tribes, West African use them in their clothing, and each symbol has a meaning. And baskets or pottery designs and taking North African art work, like rugs and their mosaic, like this is the Moroccan mosaic that you see, and combining it with the kente cloth of West Africa. And the whole idea is to make sure that I get a little bit of each side, you know, the north, the south, the east, and the west. So the style that you see is, it took a little while. It wasn't something that I came up with right away. Coming to the UGA, I knew that I wanted to talk about Africa. I just didn't know what it was that I wanted to talk about. So the hard part was coming in here. I applied for the drawing and painting department, and there's this notion where, in my heart, I thought if you're a painter, you paint on a canvas. If you draw, then you draw on paper, right? But I wasn't really excited about that. Like, I always wanted to be able to kind of touch and manipulate the canvas with my hands, and I wasn't able to do that with a canvas. So after multiple conversations with professors, Professor Norman and Professor Hawking, it took me a while to get there, but I had to do a lot of research on different artists to see what works for me, what I was drawn to, and that is how I ended up at finding my style. And there were a couple of artists that I looked at, a lot of artists, but these are the 6 artists that were very influential in my art making. So as I mentioned, well, Sam Gilliam, Frank Stella, Picasso, Leger, Kandinsky, and Louis Nevelson definitely were those 6. The first was Sam Gilliam and Frank Stella. Professor Norman introduced me to those 2, and the minute I saw their work, I had a aha moment, like, oh, okay, so I'm not restricted to painting on a canvas, that I can create my own canvas. It was really an eye-opening experience. It really kind of changed everything about how I was thinking, because prior to that, I was just trying to draw and paint, and I just didn't know how to do it. It didn't feel natural to me. So let me show you a couple of Sam Gilliam works. And Frank Stella, and I mean, you can definitely tell his influence in my work, Frank Stella. And with Sam Gilliam and Frank Stella, like, they kind of let me know that I can do whatever I want with my canvas. With Picasso and Leger, they helped me understand, like, this overlapping technique and doing it right. With different shapes, putting it together. And Kandinsky, it was all about how to balance the page using the colors, inorganic shapes and organic shapes together, and making sure, knowing how to find a place where your eye rests. So, because I've been working with patterns, I had to learn how to make sure that it's not all patterns, that there's a break somewhere in there. So right after that, I began to experiment with different materials. Mostly it was just paper, because it was so much easier to work with. I wasn't worried about spending so much money. I could just cut it together, and if I didn't like it, I could throw it away. So this is how really the first few sketches or maquettes started. And this is also paper. Some of them are Bristol paper, and others watercolor as well. So when this was the last piece I did my 3rd year last semester. When I got to this stage, I felt like I was 50% there, but not really where I wanted to be. But it gave me, a good hope that it could go further. At this stage, I was kind of like it's more of a collage, really. There were a lot of cutouts, found objects that I just put on there. I printed out African patterns from the computer and just glued on there. But I wasn't really satisfied, because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to repeat what I have done. if I want it to be bigger. I want it to be able to paint it, so that way that anytime I want to go ahead and make it bigger, then I'm able to paint it again. But when it's a collage, it's kind of hard to do that all over again. So I was lucky enough, right after doing that semester, I got accepted to the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. While I was there, I came across a Louis Nevelson's piece. And there was another aha moment for me. It was, the trouble was, how do I find a way, like the first step of the process, like how do I start that? And looking at her work, it was like a canvas to me. And I thought, well, that's how I will start my work. Everything will just start off white. That way I have a form and design that I like, or a shaped canvas that I like, and then I can play with the colors later on. So that's what happened. It started off like this. This is paper and it's really small, it looks big. And then, I'm sorry for the blurry, I got this from my phone, I didn't have it. I didn't think I was gonna be here when I was taking this picture. And so it ended up being that. And that was my senior piece. So let me kind of explain a little bit about the process and how it works. So once I've already discovered Louis Nevelsson, that's just how I've always been working. I barely draw. I use an X-Acto knife to cut out the shapes that I want. Sometimes there's a design that I kind of saw in my head. I'll just draw it really quickly and then cut it out with an X-Acto knife. Bristol paper is what I start off with. It's, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, it's just easier that way I can cut it. If I don't like it, I can throw it away, and it's easy to do. And then I move on to putting it together, and so at this stage, I'm trying to figure out how it's going to look as far as the form, but it always changes once it's bigger, or when the material, the medium changes, there are things that change in between. And then right after this, I always go back. I go to a foam board, and then I recreate that again, the same shapes, because of course I can't paint on paper, and it's easier to paint on foam board, and has a bit of it's more like wood. You know, I can put it together. It's thicker, and then it goes on to the stage, the painting process. And then once I have the paint, the solid colors on there, then I go back and do the patterns and the designs. This is my studio / my mom's garage. She, bless her heart, she's letting me do whatever I want with that space. So as you can see, everything in there, and that is where I do my work. So the same thing the same thing applies when I do the wood pieces. The only difference is that it's bigger. When the scale changes, there's more hard work, more labor, intense labor. It's more time consuming, and I'm not that big to always cut wood out like that. But it's fun, so I'll take a break in between. I do it. So once I know once I have a model, I will measure it and transfer that over on plywood and cut each piece out. So this is how it looks when it's cut out. And then put it together. At this stage, there's sanding. There's a lot of sanding and going back and fixing shapes, and which is hard because I'm always afraid that I might mess up a shape, and I don't want to go back and cut another one again because it takes forever to do already. And then there's a priming stage where I have to prime. I think I do like about 3 coats, so I stand in between. I have a video that I want to show you of the process, like how it develops from a brochure board to an actual piece. So that's been, that is what I do, that's the process. So let's talk about it, a little bit about my journey. So far, I am pretty much brand new artist coming to, what I'm trying to say by that is, I really didn't know what I should have known when I came to UGA. I felt like I was behind, because growing up, I didn't have the artistic cultural background that I needed growing up. I honestly didn't go to a museum until either the last year in high school or first year freshman in college, because there was really no one to kind of take me to places like that and show me around. So all I had was like big passion and love and determination coming here. And my skills were not that great. But since then, since graduation, things have changed for me. I've had 3 shows, as Professor mentioned, but this is really the beginning for me. I hope to see something much bigger than this. I want to experiment with different materials and different, I really want to see how far it can go, more public pieces. I'm really saying and kind of telling you like this story of me, how I was late coming into the art world, just to kind of inspire you guys. If you're in a place, in a position where you kind of feel like you're not there yet, you're not as good as your colleagues, you're not as good as all the other artists around you, you're behind, just know that it's never too late. You have to, if you have the passion, that you're dedicated to your passion, you have hope and faith, it's possible. Because that's all I had coming to UGA, faith and passion, a lot of passion. Kind of want to end this, want to conclude this with 2 of my favorite quotes that the first one I heard it on Super Soul Sunday on Oprah. I forgot who the author was that she was interviewing, but he said something that was powerful to me. We're not allowed to dream of what we are not capable of. So if you know that you have it in your heart, it's for a reason, and you are capable of doing it. You just have to put a lot of hard work into it. And the second one, my most favorite, is when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. And that's by Paulo Coelho. And I really hope that everyone in this room, the universe conspires in helping you achieve your dreams and your goals. Thank you so much for having me, Professor. And thank you, Professor Hawking and Professor Norman. You guys have completely changed my life. So thank you again, UGA.
I stand up, or just
Yeah, for sure. Just
I'll be natural.
project.
Thank you. So, I see so many different, like you said, so many different African cultures in there. I see like a Maasai shield looking thing in the back. How do you choose what's in the foreground, what's in the background? And yeah, how does the layering, the process of layering, is that a natural thing, or do you have that figured out in the, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how you layer.
It's all intuitive. It is a natural thing. Once I, looked at all of the different types of art, I usually don't go back and try to find out what I'm going to do. I just go ahead and put on paper whatever that I have put in my head. Whatever's in my head, I just put on the paper. So for the most part, yeah, it's just all intuitive. Once in a while, I might, decide to do something like, I was like, oh, maybe this shape might be better to put here. But yeah, does that answer?
All right, quite often, the students are asked to do a internship. You briefly spoke earlier in your presentation about your internship in Boston. Could you speak a little bit more about that? Maybe tell us the importance of it, what it did for your work and your development?
Yes. Well, the biggest thing for me there was getting to see the new Stanford Sun piece was, of course, that was the biggest thing. But going to the internship, it kind of opens up your eyes to the different worlds of the art world. I had the chance to meet different people that were in different, like in photography and sculpture and all that. And I had the opportunity to work with Barry Gaither, who is director of a museum, small African American museum there. And learning about different types of African American artists or Black artists and their works. It was very inspirational for me.
Did you meet John Wilson when you were there?
I did, yes, I did. John Wilson, I met John Wilson. It's crazy because Professor Norman had told me about him before, and they did a show there with him. Meeting him was amazing because he studied under Leger, so it was like, it was lineage here, and it was exciting to be there and meet, see his work. He's a sculptor, and he does sculptures. I think there are a couple of his sculptures at the Museum of Fine Arts. If you're driving by the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, you'll be able to see those. So yeah. Any other questions?
How do you make some of the pieces pop more than the others? When you're layering it, how do you get that space between it?
Oh, I use dowel rods. So I cut them in pieces and use those as spacers. So I have to, once I cut them out, I have to drill it so the screws or bolts are able to go in. Yeah, so spacers. For the paperwork, I just use the foam board. I cut it in pieces and just use double-sided tape. I'm not sure.
Your quote talked about the universe conspiring to help you dream or make your dreams come true. Could you talk about maybe like your next big dream or big project that you have in your head and it's just driving you?
I want to be able to use different materials, like plexiglass and stuff. And I wanted to be mechanical. I wanted to be able to move by. My next piece, I really wanted to be an outdoor piece. So figuring that out as far as how it's going to be able to stand the weather, whether it's cold or it's raining. So that's definitely my dream.
Do you have another question?
Yeah, I know. You mentioned how many years ago, when you were in the throes of school here, you never envisioned yourself being here so quickly. What is your next? Going forward, what would be your future maybe irrational confidence goal that you similar to what he's asking, but not specifically to a piece, but just where you see yourself maybe in 5 years?
As I mentioned earlier, my artwork is about unity, right? And it's a utopian dream. So all it does is really inspire people to kind of see the beauty and unity and working together. So that's what I want to do. I want to be able to be where I am inspiring people, and a place where people come up and say, "Well, she did it, and I can do it too." Really, that is what. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. Any other?
You said you hadn't been to a museum until end of high school or start of college. What made you decide to choose art, or how did you get into the painting drawing program? What led you here?
Well, not going to a museum wasn't because I wasn't an artist at heart. I've always had love for it. Since I could remember it as a kid, I was always drawing. And growing up in Ethiopia, I didn't really have all the materials that I needed. But I knew that I was in love with it, and my mother just let me draw as much as I want. So I've always been an artist. It just took me a while to tell myself and others that I am an artist. And I think things changed when I actually announced that. I was not good, it was crappy. My brothers always thought, really, that's the best you can do? And I'm like, it's gonna be better. So it wasn't really I knew I wanted to be an artist. I knew that I was an artist. It was just once I announced that I'm an artist, things changed and I became one. So, yeah. And high school teachers, the teachers that we have, they matter a lot in how they, influence us, because my high school teachers saw something in me and I didn't know what it was, but they've always encouraged me. And they made sure that I took AP art class while I was there. And sometimes took me out of a class and say, come listen, we want to show you how to do this type of artwork and stuff like that. And I was really blessed to have so many people. And that's what I was saying with the universe conspiring, to help you. When you were working towards something and you really want it, for some reason things come together. And I think I was listening to Oprah saying that she doesn't believe in luck. She believes in luck is when hard work meets an opportunity. So I guess in a way that answers the question.
Yeah, do you have any intentions of sharing your art back home in Ethiopia, or have you?
I do. When I did this big piece, actually, Ethiopia is where the African Union headquarters is, and that is actually, I guess another big dream that I have is one day that I get to display that there, because I don't know where would be a perfect place to show that than the people who are making the decisions about Africa.
Do you have any current exhibitions going on, or like local, or anything that we could go and see this piece in person?
No, I just had a show here at the Linden House, and that was the last one. I don't have anything coming up right now. I hope there will be one soon. I'm hoping, just trying to find a gallery to maybe to represent me or have me have my show there, at least for, for a short while. Yeah.
This is kind of a typical question. What kind of paint did you use for your big piece there?
Oh, I use acrylic for all of them, yeah. Because it's so easy, like if I mess up, I can always paint over it. It dries really quickly. That way, if I have, whatever idea I have, I don't have to wait really, maybe like 3 minutes just for it to dry, so I can go ahead and apply it and move on. So it's easier to work with. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask my question.
Yeah, go for it.
So the patterns, do they just come from your own personal knowledge of different African patterns, or are you going online like, I need to add a little bit of Morocco in here, or like, how do you pick the patterns? There's so many things going on.
It's both.
Okay.
When I first start, I'm just kind of doing it intuitively. I'm not looking at it. But once I'm like ready and I know there are things that need to be added to represent all of the nations that I talked about, I go back and I look for Moroccan art, Kenyan, West African, just making sure that everything is included.
Did you take any three-dimensional classes or sculpture classes that kind of led to this, like other than those artists that you looked at? Or this was just kind of out
No,
from painting?
I didn't even know how to cut wood in a wood shop when I started. It just happened. Yeah. So I didn't take any. I don't remember taking any sculptural class, really. Any other questions?
Thank you again. Liza is going to be doing a Dodd dialogue, informal talk on professional practices and